Hello everyone, welcome to another Crystal Point video. This is the second ever unboxing of the channel, and today we have Type-0, the new starter deck that will be Opus 3. If you haven't seen the other unboxing of the Final Fantasy 9 starter deck, I highly recommend checking those out. Before I begin this unboxing, a huge shout out to Dicing on the Cake for really saving my bacon and really helping me out, getting me one each of these so I can show you guys basically what the decks are about. So I definitely go and check them out. I know they're taking pre-orders of Opus 3 now, so if you want to, please have a look at them, see what you think, and if you want to order them from them, then go ahead. They're really nice guys. So as with all starter decks, you're going to get a 50 card deck with a game mat, just a simple game mat and a quick starter guide to explain all the rules. So let's just pop this open now. And if you'd seen my Final Fantasy 9 one and I seemed a little bit drained, it's because I still am extremely exhausted. But I just had a shower now, so after the long day I've had, I really needed that to give me a little bit more energy. So this is currently in pre-sale, so currently these are only available in MCM London at the time of recording this video. But within the next month or so, you should all be able to have it in your hands. So here's the quick starter guide, pretty standard at this point, just to explain to you all the basic rules and interactions. So if you're new to the game entirely, then you've got so many basic rules here just to let you know what does what and how things are supposed to work. And if you ever need a question answering, I would highly recommend going to the Facebook Final Fantasy Fftcg fan page. Or any other similar groups like that. They're all willing to help you out with any rulings that you need, so I won't worry about that. So just again, just basic instructions. And here we have the basic playmat. Let's see if I can open this up. I don't think this has changed since the Opus 1 starter decks, if you've had the Opus 1 starter decks, except we have just more updated images. So these are all from the Opus 3. So a lot of you may have seen some of the spoilers out. So these are the vast majority of these are Opus 3. I think they're all Opus 3 cards. Yeah, so they are. So these are all updated updated cards and general spoilers for people who haven't seen anything of Opus 3 just yet. I highly recommend again going to the either Mognet or some Final Fantasy fan page just to check them out. There's probably going to be some spoilers there. And you've got the full listings of all the previous decks as well. So if you have picked up one of these decks and you want to get an Opus 1 starter deck, there's the entire deck list on each of them for you and what they're each meant to do. So Type-0 is a very combo-esque deck. Final Fantasy 9 is far more just aggressive, card advantage, and then just wrecking your opponent's face. And this relies on having a lot of Zero Cadets and general Type-0 forwards and cards out to get the most out of all your abilities. So here we are. Let's see if we can open this bad boy up. Had a bit of trouble with this with my short nails, and I don't want to damage the cards too much. There we go. There we go. Not so bad. Only took a couple of seconds. Now, I've played with both of these decks today from the Square Enix booth at Comic-Con. And if you are at MCM this weekend, guys, I highly recommend just talking to them and having a game with them, because they are offering foiled Japanese promo cards for people who want to play and try out the new decks. So they've got these new starter decks available for you to have a look at. So we'll get this going. So we currently have free Ace. This is a 6-cost light forward. When enters the field, you may play one Job Class 0 Cadet forward from your hand onto the field. When Ace is put from the field to the break zone, choose one Job Class 0 Cadet forward other than card named Ace from your break zone, add to your hand. So when you play this card, you effectively get to play any Type-0 forward from your hand, and when it dies, you get to bring one back other than Ace from the grave. Very, very strong, and it really helps you to build up your combo pieces. Then we have what is, I think, just absolutely necessary for this kind of deck. This is Moogle Class 0, and it's very similar to the Opus 1 buff backups that you've seen before, like Maria, Duke, Larg. But this one relates specifically to Zero Cadet job classes. So if you have a Zero Cadet forward, you get 1000 power Combine this with a Maria from Opus 1, you get 2000 power across all your Zero Cadets. It's pretty strong. Now we have free Rem. This is an EX burst, so it can be very, very useful. 4 cost backup. When she enters the field, choose one category Type-0 card from your break zone, add it to your hand. Now, one very specific interaction that me and Adam, one of the other UK Nationals finalists, were talking about was it specifically says category Type-0 card. Now, it doesn't. Now, in the past, they've always said a forward or a character. A forward means just a forward, and a character means a forward or a backup. But this just says a Type-0 card. So, in theory, if this just has a Type-0 on it, you are... Let's see if we can get the focus in a bit better. No, it doesn't want to behave. Anyway, if it says Type-0, in theory, you can get this back. So, it actually does apply, in my opinion, currently, because we have no rulings on any of these cards yet, to summons as well. So, if you get the new spoiled Type-0 viable Odin, in theory, you can bring that back with this card as well. So it can. This is a lot of utility. So effectively, you can get you any Type-0 card back, as far as I'm aware currently. And we have 2 of 8. When 8 enters the field, choose up to 3 job class 0 cadet characters you control and activate them. So similar to a Pain or an Aerith, something along those lines, where it pretty much you get to play this for very cheap if you've got some lots of 0 cadet backups or forwards in general. And then it has an S ability, Phantom Rust, which is just 1 wind in its S, so just discard a copy of 8. During this turn, 8 can't be chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities, and the next damage dealt to him becomes 0 instead. So it saves him in more ways than one. It makes it so he can't be targeted further, and the next damage he receives is 0. So unless they respond to this effect with a Odin of their own, or kind of break or bounce effect, or dealing 2 types of damage that would kill this guy, it's not going to happen. This guy is going to stay around for a long time, and which is really what you need to keep your combo up. And you'll start seeing a sense that you really want to get as many cheap 0 cadets out on this field as possible. 2 cost, this is 7, 2 cost 4,000. The job class 0 cadets forward you control cannot be blocked by a forward of cost 4 or more, and has an S ability of Snakebite. Choose one special ability or auto ability, cancels effect. So the S ability is a little bit specific, but still covers quite a range of abilities. But the real beauty is effectively it has a Zidane effect where it can't. Any of your forwards can't be blocked by any 4 costs or higher. So if they're playing really expensive forwards, then you're going to have a really good time once you play this card. And we have 2 of Diablos. 3 cost EX Burst Summon. Choose 1 forward. Deal it 1000 damage for each character you control. So that is forwards and backups. If you control a job class 0 cadet forward, select up to 3 backups you control, activate them. So if you have a 0 cadet out, 0 cadet forward out, you get to effectively play this for free, or unless it's in the EX Burst, you get it for free anyway. And it gets 1000 damage. This forward gets 1000 damage for every control. So Wind has finally got a active kill summon in a way, and for this it doesn't specify which. It doesn't specify Type 9, Final Fantasy 9, Type-0, anything like that. So you can put this in any deck, and I think it's going to see a lot of play. And we have 2 Deuce. 2 cost backup, 0 cadet again. For 1 wind and Dulher, choose 1 attacking forward, deal it 2000 damage. So just be careful you don't activate her effect on when you're attacking. And then she has an S ability which is Concerto, which is S, 1 wind and dull. So just the same cost but with an S thrown in. Choose 1 forward, deal it 4000 damage for each job class 0 cadet forward you control. So if you've got pretty much 2 forwards out while this is here, it's just going to be a massive threat. So you've got this as a backup, and you've got 2 forward, 2 0 cadet forwards. You're going to deal 8k, 3 12k, 4 16k. It just goes on and on. It's just going to be a really big threat. And there's a 2k, and it has a relevant effect whenever you don't have a lot of forwards out as well. So a very, very strong card, I think, indeed. And then we have 2 Evoker. Not much more to say about these. If you've seen any of the starter decks, it just helps you ramp up your backups to have more backups in general. And then we have 2 of these 3 cost Chocobo, 4000 power with haste. When Chocobo performs a party on attack, Chocobo and all the forwards forming a party gain 3000 power to 10%. So What party attack means is that you have to have two forwards of the same, two or more, you can have more than two, forwards, and they effectively just form together to make one attack. So they both combine their powers and go in for the attack. So Chocobo, say if you attacked with both Chocobos, both of them trigger and they get 3,000 for each other. So they each give each other 3,000 and themselves 3,000. So the Chocobos can get very, very strong when they form together. And we have two of the one-cost Chocobos. And this is very similar, except it's just a cheaper, weaker version of the free-cost version. So again, still, you don't need to pair it specifically with Chocobo, but you can have it with any wind forward, and these guys can just make your guys very aggressive, very strong, very quickly. And we have two free-cost ninjas, free-cost 6,000 forward. For one wind and discard a card from your hand, you may choose a forward and deal it 2,000 damage. Not very much. I don't think I've seen any play, but you never know. In a ninja deck, this could actually become very strong. We've got a couple more Zero Cadets here. Queen, which is a free of in this deck. 2 cost EX burst 4,000 forward. When she enters the field, choose one forward your opponent controls. If you control 2 or more Job Class 0 Cadet forwards, dull it. If you control 5 or more, break it. So if you've really gone to town, you're playing Type-0, 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 and you get an EX burst off the top, or if you just play this forward, it can break a forward or just dull it out of the way. So it's kind of like a Kate Sith that can potentially become an Odin. So it's attached to a body, so it can be very, very strong, and it's quite cheap as well. Next up, we have free Arisha Al Rasha. I've probably crucified that name. But this is a free cost backup, which is basically just your Type-0 searcher. So you may search for a Type-0 forward and add to your hand. For any kind of tribal deck who focuses on a very specific game or a category in general, very, very strong, definitely free of. Now we have 9 as a free of, a very big strong hitter. It's similar to Whacker. When 4 costs 8k, when 9 attacks, choose one forward you control. Until the end of turn, it gains 1,000 power for each Class 0 cadet forward you control. So if you've got a lot of cadets out in the field, you can either choose himself or someone else to get a really strong buff. And then it has a Primal Roar effect, which is SM4 Lightning. All forwards cannot block this turn. That's when you spam the board with all your Type-0 cards, so a lot of them can be quite weak. And and they've got very strong guys out, you play 9's effect, and no matter how much power they have, it won't matter. You can just swing for days. And we have 2 Sice, 2 cost 5k forward. When she attacks, choose one forward your opponent controls. Until the end of turn, it loses 1,000 power, which is strictly better than dealing damage for each 0 cadet you control. It's character as well, so you can have 3 backups, and that can still help you as well. And she also has a Black Hole effect, which is S and 1 Lightning, which is choose one forward until the end of turn. It loses 4,000 power. So she's effectively a Cyclops on legs that can potentially go bonkers. And it's on curve. It's insane, this card, I think. Then we have 2 of the Opus 1 Black Mage. Not much to say here if you've seen it before. But it's a 2 cost backup, which you can pay 2 Lightning and dull this Black Mage and break it to destroy damage forward. So if you've got a lot of ping effects or you haven't quite finished the job, then the Black Mage can come through for you. And then we have 2 of these 1 cost summoners. Not much more to say other than just, again, ramps up your backups. And we have 2 Ramu, 1 cost, deal 5,000 damage to an active forward and the EX burst as well, so can come in quite handy. Again, you can pair this up with a Black Mage or something other ping effects to kill it or just help trade up. And we have, just for an extra bit of aggression, we have 2 free cost Dragoons for 5,000 with haste. So this can, if they've got a load of load of Type-0s out, you can play Dragoon, attack with 9, give Dragoon the buff, and then you have a 10k attacker, which keeps all your won't put your Type-0s at risk. We have another summon here, Cyclops, 3 cost EX burst. All forwards your opponent's controls loses 3,000 power. So when they lose power, it not only loses their health, but it loses the damage that they deal as well. So it can really swing a game if you time this right. We have 2 Opus 2 Ninja from Lightning. Can be very, very strong. Has been seeing a lot of play in mono Lightning decks. For 2 lightning and dull her, you can choose one forward and deal it 2,000 damage. Again, not much to say, but it really helps. It's just one of those kind of backups you always have to think about whenever you're going to try and trade or just block in general. And finally, we have 2 Dragoons, which is 2k 5 cost, 2k 5k. 2k 5k, I keep messing that up. 2 cost 5k, there we go. 1 lightning, Dragoon gains first strike till the end of turn. So if you've been dealing damage or reducing its power before, reducing your opponent's forward's power before you attack with this guy, and you give him first strike, no matter how strong their opponent's forward once was, if you reduced it down to 5,000, you've pretty much just won that trade. So it can come in really, really strong. So that is it, guys. That is the Type-0 starter deck entirely shown. Lots of synergy. It revolves a lot of just getting a lot of stuff out. Revolves a lot on getting as many cadets out. Lots of Type-0 effects and lots of EX bursts, surprisingly. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video, guys. I am very, very tired. So after a long day of MCM, and I've got nationals in a few hours, so I'm going to go to sleep. So if you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like. If you haven't subscribed to Crystal Point, then please subscribe. I really hope you enjoyed this deck. Play it for yourself whenever you get a chance. I really hope you'll enjoy it. So until next time, guys, bye.